Hokies!
Hello, Hokies. It's game day preview time as the Hokies get set to head back on the road to Atlanta, Georgia to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets alongside Tech Hall of Famer Mike Burnup. I'm John Laser, and Mikey, for just the 6th time in the Justin Fuente era here at Virginia Tech, Hokies coming off a loss and hoping to extend a streak in which they've never lost twice in a row.
Yeah, you know, that goes back to coaching and senior leadership and guys buying in to what's important. And obviously for this team, that was a tough loss in Miami. Did play well enough to win the game, turned the ball over too many times, and that's such a big stat. You think about it, ladies, they're 15-0 when they commit fewer or the same amount of turnovers, and Miami won that battle. So that's going to be certainly a point of emphasis. But there's so much to play for this team. When you think about it, they got a chance to have a better record than they did last year with one less game. So I think you got to approach it like that, sitting there in great shape. If they can win out and go to a nice bowl, it could be a great season still.
Meanwhile, plenty to play for their opposition as well. Many could argue that Georgia Tech should be 7-1. However, they're 4-4, clawing for bowl eligibility. Big question mark for Georgia Tech coming into the season was, how do you replace explosive quarterback Justin Thomas? They've done that with Taquan Marshall and then some. It is Marshall and the B-backs this year, and that's where the yardage has come from out of the flex bone.
Yeah, and Marshall's the key to the whole thing. I mean, think about it. Last year, Thomas didn't play against the Hokies, and yet they were able to come into Lane Stadium and win that game 30-20. The Hokies, again, lost the turnover battle. They had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and Georgia Tech took care of the ball, had the ball for 12 more minutes, and just the Hokies couldn't get anything going right. So, yeah, Marshall's a terrific quarterback. Bud made a great point. He says you got to catch him to tackle him. And he is very elusive. He's a special athlete. He runs the whole show. It takes the whole offense goes through him, and he's not that big. That's the other thing. He's 5'10", 180 pounds, but man, is he lightning quick. And the big thing is it's hard to simulate that in practice. So you go out there on game day, man, it makes it tough.
Take away some negative yardage plays for the quarterback, and he's got about 1,200 on the season. Kervonte Benson, that B-back that I was mentioning, he's right up there with him, number 2 for the Yellow Jackets in terms of rushing. And for the Hokies, simple area this week to clean up. They're tackling on the defensive side. Not so simple, though, Mike, on the offensive side. This is a unit now that has struggled for multiple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they got to get something going. They got to be better on third downs, lays. That was a struggle against Miami. You got to take care of the football. I mean, that's the big thing. You can't afford to turn it over and lose that battle like they did last year, like they did last week. And you got to try to be a little more productive in the run game, win some of those one-on-one matchups. You kind of know what you are, and but you know, nothing to be ashamed of when you've lost to 2 top 10 teams. But these are games that you're going to be favored the rest of the way, and you got to take care of business if you want to have a great season. We knew what that stretch at the end was going to be all about with 3 out of 4 on the road, and not right now you're in the thick of it.
Generally, Justin Fuente, should the Hokies win the coin toss, will elect to defer, put the defense on the field first. Due to that ball control triple option offense, he chose not to do that last year along with the absence of Terrell Edmonds due to targeting. Asked him this week, if you win the coin toss, are you deferring? And he said, absolutely. So there's a nugget for you, Hokies, on your GDP. Mike and I will be there along with Andrew Allegretto. We hit the airwaves as early as we have this year, 10:30 for the Kubota Kickoff Show. This has been your Hokies and Yellow Jackets GDP.